Good morning, and welcome to my channel. I caught about, let's see, I think it was 11 crappie, and somebody gave me this catfish. They didn't want to fool with it, so I know several of you have asked about my methods. As you can see, I've already done some, filleted some, but I'm gonna show you how to do this, and hopefully it will, help you with if you're going to be a real fisher person, okay, you need to catch them, you need to clean them, and you need to cook them. You need to be able to do all of those steps. I know some people fish for fun, but I fish for dinner. So I've already sharpened my knife, but just in case, like I said, I have been doing this already this morning, and I remembered that some folks had asked me about what do I do with all these fish I catch. And the answer is I clean them and cook them. Sometimes I'm over the singles ministry at my church. And so sometimes we have fish fries and stuff like that. And then other family, friends, and all of that, they come over as well. And so let's see. The larger ones, this is a crappie. This is a crappie. Some people call them white perch, but they are actually crappie. I have my little disposable bag, and I have my scraper somewhere. Somewhere I have it. Hold on. Let's see where I did with it. Y'all give me 1 second. Found it. Anyway, I have my scraper. Some people use a spoon. Some people use all different kind of things. But this has been a blessing to me. It makes life easier. The scales don't really pop a lot. I use this bag. It just makes it easier when I'm done to be able to throw this all away. So I also have a little cutting board for when I get ready to actually cut this baby up. I don't scale it on this. I kind of push that back in the bag so that, let's see if y'all can see that. While I'm getting these scales off, that won't be on my cutting board. And I caught these yesterday and had them in some water. And sometimes even in the water, some of these, as you can see, if it's not all the way in the water, those scales can get a little hard. But I am going to fillet this one because it is so large. Some people don't like filet, but I actually, since I've started filleting and ain't got to deal with no bones, man, it does kind of spoil you. But I agree with y'all now. The flavor is in the bones. I agree. I don't disagree with that. So we're just going to make sure we get all of that off. All right. So then I scrape that down. Just like that. Like I said, I really don't want all the scales on my cutting board. It just makes for when I get ready to rinse them off, I don't have a lot of extra scales everywhere. All right. So for the fillet, you need a sharp fillet knife. A fillet knife, as you can see, it looks different than the other knife. But this fillet knife, it is sharp. And we're going to just start. And I do have an electric knife. Somebody, if my brother happens to be watching this, he did buy me an electric fillet knife. And I am very thankful and appreciative for it. I just don't have that many fish. So I don't mind just doing it the old-fashioned way. Plus, those of you who may be watching this video, you may not have a fillet knife either. Now, what you noticed was I did not fillet that all the way. because I need that meat on that side to help me get to the bone on this side. Sometimes I had to learn that too. Sometimes when you go ahead and do both sides and like get that meat right there all the way off, it flattens it. And so I was leaving a lot of meat on my bone. I was like, okay, we got to figure out a way. So that's what I do before I cut all the way through. I go ahead and start on both sides so that, I don't lose. I don't really want to lose a lot of meat, so we do what we have to do. All right. So from here, when you're using just a regular knife like me, I like to find it's a little sweet spot, as I call it, where you can go all the way across, and then you can just follow that bone all the way to the end. And you see, all that's pretty flush, right? And then I come back, and I know my way is not the best way. Please, I mean, if you know a better way, share it, whatever. This just works for me. I'm just a simple country girl down here in Mississippi, catching fish, catching them, cleaning them, and eating them. Now, me, I really like the skin. I love the skin. So I don't take my skin off. And sometimes after you get to this part, if you feel some scales or something, go ahead and get those off if you happen to feel them. But I love my skin on. To me, it helps with frying and everything. Keeps the meat together. We're going to come back and wash that. And as you can see, we got most of that meat off the bone. Now, this side over here, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I sometimes have a difficult time making the opposite side as pretty as the first side. But listen, we're gonna try. And plus, I want to also show you, it's the same thing. We're just going a different direction here. Yep, we got it. And then we're gonna come up here, and some people cut through that bone. I just like to go ahead and cut around it. It don't take much time to cut around that bone. The rib cage, if you will. I'm cutting around it. I know it sounds like I'm crunching on it, don't it? There we go. And once you find that sweet spot, you can go ahead and get that. And look, cats are going to enjoy that. Cats or whatever animals come into my yard. Okay, now for those of you who don't prefer the skin on, this is what I do for that, okay? I start about right here, right there at the end, just enough where I can pinch a little bit and hold it with my hands, and then I come up. And come up. Just come up. And bam. Perfect meat. Like I said, some people take that rib cage meat off, but that's meat. And so you can see the difference. The meat part is the same, but then on this back where we have taken off that skin, again, for me, it just fries better when we have the skin on. Find one of these small guys. And listen, I don't normally keep the little fish. You can discard all this skin and stuff. But this little guy, he swallowed the hook. He swallowed the hook, and he wasn't going to live anyway. So I just decided that, and some people catch this size, and they use it for bait, So, shoot, if something going to eat it, I just figured let me eat it. Let me eat it if it's going to get ate. Okay, so with these smaller size, and you could have some brim, all of this cleans the same way. For me, I cut that head off. I get all of, Try to go ahead and get all those guts out. And I got the bucket right here to the side. That's where I'm discarding this big stuff. You could put it in your little bag here, but I just drop it in the water that I got that fish out of, and I'm gonna dump the whole bucket and put this plastic in the trash. And don't want the plastic smelling so bad in the trash can. Okay, now I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I like to scrape all of that stuff out of there. Now my mom thinks I'm tripping, but that stuff has a little twang to it. It's got a little twang to it. So if you're not getting that white stuff out of there, that lining of the gut, I would just highly recommend that you do that. I just got a little taste to it to me. But I keep it, when it's this size, I keep these kind of whole. I just get those guts out, clean that out like that. But I keep it kind of whole. And then I'll come and just put a couple of slits in there. Makes ease for frying. Gets it all the way done. And boom. That's that. All right. And let's find one in here. We can butterfly this one. I wanted to show y'all the butterfly method as well. And then we'll clean that catfish and then I'll let y'all go. But anyway, you start out the same. Always get the scales off, y'all. Always get the scales off. Always. There is no way around it, right? Always get the scales off. Now, this was the first fish that I caught. And my grandmama, Rebecca Pearl Sharp, and Aunt Mariella ain't say to me too, I guess. They always said, don't throw your first fish back. You know, that's your luck, as they would say back then. Of course, now we say things like, that's my blessing. But we gonna get that good and clean. Get all those scales off of there. And this is not the final cleanse. Of course, you know we're going to rinse these off and everything like that. So, all right. Now, for the butterfly method, you basically going to do the same thing as far as cutting off that head. And you guys may have a little bit sharper knife than what I'm using. I just go ahead and pull all that stuff out. Discard the head. Then there, right along that bone line there, I like to, again, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. This stuff right in here, all that. Of course, you're gonna get the guts out. You're gonna get that stuff right there out. But I also like to get that lining. Y'all see that white stuff, that right there. I like to get that out also, because again, now y'all try it out and see. Do cook a piece with it and cook a piece without it, and y'all tell me. But it's got a little twangy taste to me, and I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like that. So I like to go ahead and make sure I get all of that out of there. All right, so now we're back to where if you wanted to keep this whole, you could just put those slits in there like I showed you a while ago. But what we're going to do is kind of butterfly this fish. Some people like that butterfly method, and it's almost like filleting. You're going to go down that bone line right there, all the way down. Okay. And then I like to come back up. Stay along. You are breaking bones now. You're breaking those bones. It's right along there. You're breaking those bones right along there. And then once you have that, just slide down. There you go. And I do mine somewhat differently. I like to open that up like that, so it can really be a butterfly. Some people keep that attached and still have it kind of attached like that, but I like to open it up. It's easier to fry when you have it this way. Now, mind you, when you fry this, there's still bones right there, okay? There are bones right there. There are bones over here. And of course, the bones here. So just make sure, when you cook that you remember, well, when you're eating it, you'll see, you'll know that those some bones here from that rib cage. Some people go ahead and cut that out. I don't, because, hey, what did we say in the beginning? The flavor is in the bone. But yeah, that's how I butterfly my fish. Some people do all their fish that way. The bigger ones I fillet. Smaller ones I keep whole, and about this size or so, I will go ahead and butterfly them out. Makes for a good fish, and you can get all that flavor of your bone in there as well. So y'all give me 1 second. Let me change gears here so I can show y'all how to clean this catfish. All right, so for the catfish, you're gonna need a skinner. Okay. Yeah, you could nail it to a tree and do all this other kind of stuff. You could use pliers, but they actually make stuff to make cleaning fish easier. You got your skinner, well, your scaler, and you got a catfish skinner. It'll grab it, pull it down, and there you have it. All right, so this is a pretty nice size channel cat. Again, I want to say thank you to the young men that gave this fish to me. This was the only thing that they caught, and they did not feel like fooling with him. Because of the size of this channel cat, I am going to fillet him. And you may ask what determines whether a fish is filleted or kept whole. I like to look at what's going to fit in my frying pan. Yeah, we could, I guess dice him up and make him fit or whatever. But man, that fillet catfish is something good. And I'm probably gonna, if I just be honest, I'm probably gonna keep that bone. I'm probably gonna keep that bone that this meat comes off of and fry it up too. With that tail on, clean that up real good and eat all of that. That's just me being transparent with y'all. All right, so this little trick that I learned about these channel catfish, and how you want to fillet them. It actually is very easy, very easy. I like to start right round through there, come around. Now, of course, you got to find, there you go. You got to find your sweet spots. Once you find that bone, you just want to follow that bone all the way out. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of gross. Let me flip that over. I don't want nobody to be tripping. Look at that meat. See how easy that was? You follow that bone all the way out. And just like with the other, you're going to just at the tip here, right here at the tip of where you cut, don't go all the way down. You're just trying to get to that skin so that you can just do that. Look, see that skin, how it's coming off? That's all we're trying to do. And you're holding it as you're cutting. That's why it's so important that you have a knife that's sharp enough to do that. Bam. We're done. Was that not easy? Was that not easy? Now, I showed y'all those. I showed y'all this just in case you were wanting to pull the skin back and all like of that. Which you can still do it that way. But when they're this size, I like to fillet them and not even in food with this. But if you were doing this, you would just find a little skin and it will literally pull it right off. Okay. Again, we're going to clean that meat up a little bit more. And I may cut that in half because it was so big. Same thing on this side. I'll be trying to get as much meat as I can off of these things, y'all. And I'm gonna come back. Find the scale. Find that bone. And just ride that bone. Bam. Good, good, good piece of meat. Good piece of meat, y'all. Look at that meat. Woo, good meat, good meat, good meat. All right. So then we're going to do, it's like I said, same thing. Man, look at that. Good meat. Good meat. And then you want to, once you get all your meat in here, let's see, we got the filet catfish. We have a butterfly crappie. We have whole crappie. We have a filet crappie. Once you get your meat all cleaned up, as you can see, I still got a few more fish I gotta clean. But once you get them clean, you want to definitely rinse these really well. Rinse them really good. Because you don't, when you get ready to eat these, you don't want scales and all that kind of stuff. You want to clean them really well. Mine are going in the freezer for a later date. They do keep well in the freezer. I mean, they keep really good in the freezer. And so I am going to see if I can get a little bit more of this meat. And like I told y'all, I'm going to keep this part of this fish. I'm going to keep it, and yeah, I'm going to probably put that in the pan too. We'll see. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all catch me back here another time. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. Subscribe to my channel. That way I know people are interested, and I'll keep posting videos. God bless.